welcome to another Extra Butter at Home. Next to your home's the most awesome action movie starring Kevin Hart in his most challenging role ever, playing the part of Kevin Hart. We'll catch up with him somewhere to talk about that. Also, one thing's for certain, if a movie's a hit on Netflix, they'll make another. Now from the people who brought you The Kissing Booth comes The Kissing Booth 2. Its stars joining us in moments. Speaking of stars, every star in the universe is in Animal Crackers. Why this tiny independent animated feature almost wasn't, and why you need to see it. Can you believe that? All of that crammed into one show and doused with extra butter.
The Kissing Booth is open for business! Again!
Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to be this nervous.
That new guy, Marco?
He is seriously luscious.
The OMGs literally described 100 different ways Marco is a snack.
Nice to meet you. But I'm a little hungry, so I'm gonna go get myself a snack.
And what's going on? Let's do it! Welcome to my home. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're washing your hands. Hope you're wearing the mask. Hope you're social distancing and keeping yourself safe. In the meantime, let's talk about stuff to keep us entertained. What do you... You okay? What do you say? Sorry, we just had an accident. My dog just ran through the set and I think ripped out the power cable. Are we still rolling? Are we okay? Are you okay? What did you do? Maybe you should get down there and we'll talk about it. How are you doing? Your dogs and cats okay? All right, good. We'll carry on. Netflix. If it's successful on Netflix, you know they're going to make a sequel, and that's why, boom, Kissing Booth 2 exists. Kissing Booth 1 was the most successful YA movie in the history of Netflix, so of course this came along. All kinds of awesome people are in it. Returning cast, you got Taylor Perez, you got Maisie Richardson, Maisie, who I love from Force Awakens, and then Joel Courtney coming back. This guy I've been talking to since he was this age. He was in Super 8, one of my favorite movies of all time. And of course, Joey King I've been talking to since Ramon and Beezus and everything else he's done for the last 10 years. In the meantime, let's go back to talking about Kissing Booth 2. Hugely successful. I've wasted enough of their time because they're pretty much standing by on Zoom to talk right now. Hey guys, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. The first question is, where are you and how are you?
I am at my home in LA and, oh, my dog just moved my computer and I am great. I am, I'm excited to be doing this because it kind of does take your mind off of everything that's going on, and just to be able to talk about something that makes me super excited and happy. It feels so good. Do I wish we were doing a worldwide press junket like we were hopefully going to do? Yes. But is this the next best thing? Yes.
Yes. How about you, Joel?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm spending quarantine in Phoenix, Arizona with my fiance and her family. We're just planning our wedding and having a great time and, just getting through life as crazy as it is right now.
Congrats on the planning and the engagement and the wedding and all of that. For the two of you, speaking of that worldwide press junket, it seems like just yesterday I was sitting down with you guys doing exactly that. Did you, in your wildest dreams, did you think it would blow up to this?
No, I cannot believe we are living through this right now. It's nothing to laugh about, even though I'm laughing. I cannot believe it. I honestly, obviously grew up in school, learning about diseases and viruses and plagues and yada, yada, yada. Never in my life did I think I would be around to see the next big virus spread. It's like watching the movie Contagion in real life.
If I could sum up the first movie, it's that love conquers all. How do you sum up the second movie?
The second movie, I think you can sum up with, it's one of those movies that has so many new elements to it while also remaining true to the first one that it's hard to sum up like what it is with one small concept. I think we get to see so much happen in this movie. We get to see love triangles. We get to see friendships flourish and flounder. We get to see insane visuals like we didn't get to see before. We got more of a budget this time to play with visuals, So, but there's so much beauty and excitement and flirtatiousness and kissing in this movie. So it's all very exciting.
Joel, who do you think would be a better best friend? Your character or you?
I think I would be a better best friend. I think that I have gained a level of maturity that Lee has yet to find. He will and he can, but he's not quite there. I also think that I'm just funny. I'm funnier. than Lee.
I am here to confirm that that is true.
Awesome.
Our like off-camera laughter, I think, is harder than our on-camera laughter, which is hard to believe because I'm pretty sure we've cried from laughing. So yeah, that's
I
happened.
think all of you guys are awesome. I wish I could be on the set of this movie because it looks, as cliche as this sounds, it looks like it's as much fun to make as it is to watch. I've been talking to the two of you for over a decade now, and I just want to tell you, it's been fun watching you guys grow in your careers and both remain kind, cool human beings. And great to talk to you.
Mark, thank you so much, Mark.
And true story, my dog is down there reprimanded because she moved my camera right before this interview too. So it's going around.
Angel.
Oh. Who amongst your family members is the biggest kissing booth geek that wants to know everything?
That's so funny. My cousins, random cousins, came out of the woodwork from all ages, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, I love that film." I feel like the older you are, it becomes a slightly guilty pleasure. And then my younger cousins are just like, they're just so excited because it's kind of, it's relatable. It's their age bracket. But I find it super nostalgic. Like, I love watching it because it makes me feel good and reminisce and all those things. So I think it appeals to kind of all ages.
Same here. As the old guy in the group, I'll go ahead and say that. How about you, Taylor? Any relatives come out of the woodwork you didn't know you had?
Yeah, my niece is very excited. She keeps FaceTiming me with her friends. Uncle Taylor, my friend so-and-so wants to meet you. Uncle Taylor, my friend so-and-so wants to meet you. And she just asks me about, what was it like working with Joey? Was she cool? She looks really nice. Like all these, kids love their idols and they want to make sure that they're cool. So that's been awesome.
So, Maisie, I love that you said it makes you wax nostalgic because it did. Like, this movie made me feel like I was kind of, growing up all over again. To each of you, which scene did you most relate to? Whether it's your characters or some other scene in the movie, did you most say, yeah, I remember those days?
I would say when Elle and I are sitting on the beach and he's really asking her the deep questions about her relationship with Noah. Because I remember those days. Not the, beautiful moon in the background and the fire on the beach and just like that perfect moment. But, it was like at a Dairy Queen, outside talking to someone about, their relationship. And I felt like, wow, I remember this moment in my life.
How about you, Maisie?
I mean, there's that moment when Elle reads Noah's text and I was just like, no, because I've done that back in the day. I learned my lesson. I never do that anymore. But it's that kind of thing where you just so desperately want to know what's going on. You want to know what's right. And, you just act stupidly sometimes. And then you make assumptions and it's just kind of spirals. I remember that feeling the first time when you're sort of really into someone, but you don't know if you should trust them. But also like the group scenes. I love the group scenes and that energy that you have with your classmates and just how much fun they all have and how they support each other. It's such a dynamic group. And that was really nostalgic for me to see.
We talk about what people need during this time, but just seeing people have fun like that again, it makes you in that moment. And so for both of you and to the filmmakers, thank you for bringing that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You guys are awesome. The movie is remarkable and exactly what the world needs right now. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So great to meet you.
Kissing Booth 2 now playing, and it is awesome. It throws a very broad net. You don't have to be a 12-year-old girl to love it. I loved it, and I'm not a 12-year-old girl. What are you looking at? All right, coming up on Extra Butter, Die Hart. Kevin Hart is back playing one of the most challenging roles ever, like I said, that of Kevin Hart. How does this work out? We'll talk with he and his co-stars next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out. If you are watching on AFN, thank you for being the men and women serving America in 168 different countries and territories worldwide. Anybody watching on YouTube? Hey, thank you too. Be sure and like and subscribe, and thank you very much. History is being made this week on Extra Butter. Not because of anything we've done, but Die Hart. This is the very first major motion picture to ever be released on Quibi. That's right, breaking it up pretty much into scenes or 8 to 10 minute chunks. It's Kevin Hart playing the most challenging role he's ever played, that of pretty much Kevin Hart. He does a great job playing Kevin Hart alongside John Travolta, not playing John Travolta, and Nathalie Emmanuel. If the name sounds familiar, it should. She was phenomenal in Game of Thrones, but I digress. Caught up with them via Zoom last night in our homes to talk about it. Take a look. Nathalie, Kevin, how are you guys?
Good. Thank you. How are you?
I think sometimes the most interesting question these days is, where are you and how are you? Starting with you, Nathalie.
I'm in London, in my kitchen, and I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. It's obviously we're in strange times, but I'm trying to remain positive and make the most of all the things I have to be grateful for. So
Of course.
I am I'm in a castle in Dubai.
Are you really?
No.
You could be.
Just wanted to see what your response was going to be.
I too am in a castle in Dubai. Well, I'm right next door to you.
Yeah, just say the most random place. No, I'm home. I'm in my office. Crazy times we're in, so adapting like everyone else and finding things to do with our time while we get to better times.
That's what I'm talking about. And things to do with your time would be to jump on this and enjoy Die Hart. It's among both of your finest works. Nathalie, you've done a lot, but talk about what you're going to walk away from this experience with. What did you love the most about this?
I think just the incredible cast that we had, and just the whole crew, and Eric, our director. And I think that it was just such an amazing kind of collaboration of so much, so many great people. And then a lot of the challenges that this project kind of threw at me was a lot of the stunt work and the kind of physical stuff, which I hadn't done before. And I was just really excited and grateful to have a go at that. And it was great fun. And I laughed a lot. I have some really fun memories from that shoot, and I laughed so much.
You laughed lots?
I did laugh lots.
I know, I just want to make sure I heard you. You laughed lots.
I laughed a lot. Sorry. I laughed a lot.
I didn't say, I'm not saying, I just asked a question.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Kevin, you've done a lot in your career. Slouch, you've worked with some of the greatest people. You are, if not there yet, you are on the brink of being Hollywood legend. Yeah, what's it like standing opposite this guy, this Travolta guy that's done some stuff in his day?
I mean, these are the moments that you look back at and just go, wow. I'm 41 years old now, and as I'm getting older, of course, my career has grown, and it's given me the opportunity to work with people that I never imagined I would be able to work with or stand next to. And thinking about the resume that John Travolta has and all the work that he's done, and then being able to call him a co-star is it's unreal. You really have to pinch yourself. So it was something that I really took in. I think I can speak for Nathalie when I say we both, found ourselves like, damn, it's John Travolta. And we're working with John Travolta, and he's cool. He's a nice guy, but we're doing a good project. It's just you're constantly confirming what you're thinking by speaking these little things out loud. But you have no idea what it means to have somebody of that caliber partake in things that you're producing or developing. It's a big deal.
You guys, it's awesome. Thanks for letting me hang out with you. Thanks for letting me invade your spaces in Dubai and London.
Well, I just changed location.
You're very welcome, of course.
I'm now in a tower in Paris.
Wow.
It's lovely. Thank you for the home-to-home chat, Nathalie and Kevin Hart. And this movie is remarkable. I dare say Die Hart would work on any format. Traditional movie theaters, this screen, Quibi, or anywhere else. Check it out. All right, coming up in a moment, parents especially listen up. Have you exhausted everything at this time for the kids? Well, look no more. Animal Crackers is here to the rescue. Why should you watch this movie? Why is it a miracle it even got made? We'll talk about it next as Extra Butter continues. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out. Hope your summer's going great and feels kind of like a summer. Feels kind of like a break, even though it's pretty much just more of the same. Parents, I hear you when you're saying now more than ever you need more for the kids. Might I suggest Animal Crackers? One, the movie is great. Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. The first time I've heard them together since A Quiet Place 1. We're still looking for A Quiet Place 2. Why is it a miracle this movie got made? I don't know. So let's go to the expert. Ladies and gentlemen, at one time, he was one of America's youngest film critics. I don't know that to be true anymore, but I do know he was the youngest inductee into the Broadcast Film Critics Association, the Critics' Choice Awards people. He is Jackson Murphy, the Jackson of Lights, Camera Jackson. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mark. Thanks for having me on.
I'm sorry, that was the longest intro ever. Do you still have time?
I do, thankfully, yes.
All right. So explain why this independent animated feature is a miracle in the making.
It is a miracle. Animal Crackers, the directors Tony Bancroft and Scott Christian-Sava have been working on this movie about a decade now, and they take the Animal Crackers that we know and love and a graphic novel adaptation that Scott Christian-Sava actually did. They've assembled this all-star cast. Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, Danny DeVito, Ian McKellen, Sylvester Stallone. The cast is unbelievable. They showed it at Film Festival 3 years ago, and then nobody wants it. And then some studios want it. They wanted to do certain things. And then Netflix, earlier this year, came in for the save, agreeing with what the directors wanted to do with the movie and putting it on the streaming service for this summer for families to enjoy. It is a miracle, and I interviewed these directors, and they are so thrilled that it is on Netflix this weekend.
So Jackson, no other distributors wanting it. What's the deal with that? I'm sorry to go Seinfeld on you, but I mean, it's a good movie, and not to mention the fact that you've got John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. It's the first time they've appeared together since Quiet Place 1 or 2.
I know, and believe it or not, they actually recorded their dialogue together before they even shot the first Quiet Place. They did their dialogue in like 2015, which is amazing. Yeah, some studios wanted to take too much control of the film or put it out in certain ways that the directors really didn't agree with it. It is a good film. It is fun. The colors are wonderful. The animation, the voice cast, the characters. Kids can really get into this circus story, and adults as well, because there's a nice husband-wife relationship story and family dynamic to it. Yeah, Animal Crackers. I'm glad, and I think everybody involved is glad that it is finally out.
In addition to the big names, Ian McKellen, Sylvester Stallone, the Krasinskis, the Emily Blunts, the Danny DeVito, you've got Gilbert Gottfried. We're looking at some video of you right now giving him a gift. What's going on here?
Yes. So he recorded his dialogue several years ago. I met Gilbert Gottfried in person in May of 2017. And at that point, people didn't know what was going to happen with the Animal Crackers animated movie. But I asked him about it, and he was like, I don't know where this movie's going either. But I met him after he did a comedy show near where I live, and I gave him a box of Animal Crackers, and he thought that was really nice. But he wanted the string, because the strings used to be on those Animal Crackers boxes. So he's like, go back to the store and get me one with a string on it.
That's a dated reference lost on younger viewers. You know what's eerie, though? You're Gilbert Gottfried. When you lean into the voice, you could play a young Gilbert Gottfried if you really scrunch that face enough.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so maybe I'm trying to get out there in the acting world a little bit. Maybe a Gilbert biopic should be in the works. Yeah.
Jackson, you're the closest critic to kid age. Why should kids watch this movie?
Because they'll really enjoy the nature of it. The idea is that the characters eat these animal crackers and then they become these animals that perform in the circus. That's just a really cool concept that I think kids can really relate to, and they'll recognize a lot of the voice actors in it as well. Patrick Warburton, they've heard in a bunch of animated films over the years, and Gilbert, and even Stallone. Yeah, they'll pick up on all of that. And there are some child characters in it as well. So yes, definitely have the kids watch this.
Patrick Warburton, back to Seinfeld again. He was Putty. And then also on Emperor's New Groove, one of my favorite underrated Disney classics, he was Kronk.
Yes, and Hoodwinked as well. He was the big bad wolf in Hoodwinked, one of my favorite animated movies. The first movie I ever reviewed back in January of 2006 was Hoodwinked with Patrick Warburton.
We've brought it full circle. Jackson, where can we find you online?
Twitter at LCJ Reviews, Instagram at LightsCamJackson, and the website is lights-camera-jackson.com. There in the podcast section, you can find my full 35-minute conversation with the directors.
Thanks for hanging out with us, pal.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, coming up next on Extra Butter, Dakota Fanning, great on any screen. We will celebrate her work in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Quentin Tarantino, and of course, launching on The Alienist. She'll join us to talk about that and missing teeth. What? She'll explain next. Hey, welcome back to Extra Butter. Thanks for hanging out with us on this show where we talk about nothing but movies, except when we talk about stuff like The Alienist, which isn't a movie at all. But it does star movie star Dakota Fanning, who crushed it last year during award season in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And the reason I bring her up, because she's going to talk about both. First of all, where are you and how are you?
I am well, thankfully, and I'm in Los Angeles.
Hey, looking at your stairs, you're on my stairs at home. Do you want to hear how?
I do!
All right, yeah, you and my daughter were on the Universal lot during the making of Cat in the Hat, and we took a picture. It's my favorite picture of her. And you.
That's great. I love that.
And as I recall, she was missing teeth, you too, but you had fakies in, if I'm right.
For sure. I had like a flipper that would click in and out, so the continuity of teeth growth would would always be the same.
Of course. All right, bucket list item for you. You got to work with Quentin Tarantino. Let's talk about Once Upon a Time.
Oh, it was such a dream come true for me, really. It was something I've like wanted to happen secretly for so long, and when the opportunity actually came to be, it was everything I thought it would be and so much more. It was really an incredible experience, and so proud to be a small part of, you know, a movie that people responded to so much.
Well, people are responding to The Alienist. Let's talk about this. What's the day on the set you're going to remember the most?
You know, the one of the opening scenes for Sarah is, you know, I'm driving a calash, you know, a horse and carriage through the streets of New York, and I was super nervous about doing it, but I practiced so much, and it luckily all went right. So I wasn't responsible for any sort of mishap, which I was really grateful to get through that.
And add to your resume, I, Dakota Fanning, do my own stunts.
There you go. Yes, not 100%, but I did do a lot of it. I was like, you better film this so people know it's me risking my life.
No doubt. Well, hey, thanks for risking your life just for being on Extra Butter today. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Dakota Fanning, everybody. Check out The Alienist because it is amazing. All right, so I think that pretty much wraps it up on Extra Butter. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Thanks for watching wherever you watch, including AFN Worldwide. Keep taking care of yourself. Wash your hands. Wear the mask. Socially distance. For crying out loud, would it kill you to maybe wash your feet every now and then? That's what I'm going to do next. Any parting words from you? Just going to sit there and hang out with the Dakota Fanning picture? All right, yeah, don't get up.